Between school, your friends, and social media, answers are everywhere. But where can you find the truth? Welcome to the Well StudentCast. We're asking for a friend so you don't have to.
What's up, party people? We back at the Well StudentCast, asking questions for a friend so you don't have to. My name is Brynn, and I'm here with my friend
K.A.O., and I am so stoked to be here again.
Again.
Actually,
We've had
in a great way. I'm glad to be here.
No, me too.
Yeah,
me
okay.
too.
What
We've
were
had
you
a few
gonna say?
funny moments.
We
A
did.
few minutes ago, we noticed that I always look like I'm doing the what in tarnation thing. And then I didn't even tell you this one. We're in like a new studio. Well, newish. We've been here for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
But there's this little, you can't see it because I don't think it's in the camera shot,
so.
but there's this little statue on one of the shelves. And the other day I was in here with Rachel, our lovely video friend. And I was like, I love that there's like a Abe Lincoln statue in here. And she was like, where? And I was like, right on the shelf. And she was like, that's Beethoven. And I was like, oh. But you can see it. It kind of looks like Abe.
I thought it was Abraham Lincoln.
Bless. Okay, because I felt so dumb.
I thought you were talking about the model statue they do for like art, where they like pose them. And then I looked over and I was like, oh, are you talking about Abraham Lincoln? That's literally what I thought.
It's Beethoven.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But anyways, so cool. I should learn
so fun, so
more
fresh.
about Beethoven.
You should.
And you know what? I have so much time to do this summer.
Is learn about Beethoven?
Learn about Beethoven because it's summer.
It is summer.
And we want to make the most of it.
We do. And that is the question we got from our friend. Just like, hey, look, how do we be intentional over summer? AKA, how do we make the most out of our summer? Because if we're being really honest, most of our listeners tend to have a school schedule.
Yeah.
And so they do technically have a little bit more freedom in the summer.
Yeah.
As opposed to during the school year. And so it's like, what do we do with all this extra time we've been gifted by Jesus? What do we do with it? And that's the question that we're going to be walking through today. So.
Yeah. That's good.
I think so. The first thing that I think we probably have to talk about, Brynn, is my favorite thing you mentioned earlier that you do for summers. Maybe you may not do it now, but you used to. And I think you should definitely bring it back.
Summer bucket list.
Yes.
I kind of do like a vague version of it now.
Okay.
I used to in high school. It would literally be like me and my friends would make a list like on a shared notes app thing of like, it would be like 100 things where it was like, we have to do all these things by the end of summer. And I don't think I'm like that specific with it now, but it's more like, okay, I really want to like play pickleball with friends. I want to go on a trip. I want to, I don't know.
Just something like those things.
But I do think there is like an intentionality of like, hey, here's some things that I want to prioritize accomplishing over summer, or even not accomplishing over summer, like resting.
Oh, that's
like
good.
Forsaking an accomplishment.
Oh, that's good. I love that.
But yeah.
Okay,
so,
well, let's kind of approach our podcast today as if we're making a summer bucket list for our friends and what should be on there. So I think you kind of hit that first one. Our first one should be that we should do something fun.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like going on a trip somewhere. Maybe it's hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
And because that leads you into
going to Pelicans for snow cones.
Yeah, because it leads you into creating opportunities for you to lean into community. Because sometimes this summer we are afraid of it because it's like, wow, we always were in community at school or sports teams. And now there might be a lack of it. And so we're afraid of being lonely.
When you have to almost like be more, you have to put yourself out there more to hang out over summer sometimes. Because when you are in school, you're around some of the same people every day. And naturally in passing, you're like, do you want to hang out Friday night?
Yeah.
Or like, let's all go to the baseball game together and hang out after. Fill in the blank of how that comes up. But over summer, you have to like reach out because you might not see them every day. And so I remember there were some friends where it was like during the school year, I hung out with them all the time. And they were like in my head, my school friends.
Yeah.
Because then when summer hit, it was like, oh, we don't like reach out to each other to hang out. But then when the fall started again, we'd like be friends again.
Yeah.
But so I think the challenge here is what does it look like for you to reach out to some of those people and like make plans to go do some of the things that you might have on your summer bucket list.
Yeah, I agree. You have to be a little bit more forward-minded because everyone goes on vacation during the summer. And so you do want to be like, hey, you're going to be in town, love to hang out, we're going to go ahead and do this. So I agree. So doing something fun with friends so you can lean into community because that is important. Our second thing that we think you should put on your bucket list to make the most out of your summer is probably, it seems like a weird plug because we're going to say it, but I don't know, spend time with the Lord.
Yes.
Yeah, probably should have been number one, but you know what we're talking about.
Yes. Yeah. We had talked about that on our Q&A a few weeks ago and got some more follow-ups on it. And so we wanted to just talk through this idea of spending time with the Lord, making that a priority during your summer plans, because there's a lot of different things going on. And even though we say in theory it's a lot more free time, sometimes that even gets weird where it's like, well, now I'm on vacation and okay, if this you still have sports practices, most of you, or like clubs or things. So we're not going to pretend you don't have schedules, but it's a little bit less structured. Mm-hmm. Whereas what you might have had during the school year was like a set routine of like wake up in the morning before school and there's a time window of when I would do my Devo or whatever else, or I do it before bed after homework. Mm-hmm. Whereas now it's like you might still have a schedule, but your routine's gone. Yes. And so how do you enforce a routine with the Lord during summer?
Yeah, I would probably say you just got to do it. So you just got to make sure like, hey, this is going to be a priority for me. Yeah, sponsored. Just pick out a time. Be like, hey, every time I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to carve out this time. And I love I love seeing it when you do it with a friend at like a coffee shop or at Pelican or whatever, because then there's accountability is built in. Like, hey, me and my buddies, we're going to go right after practice when we go get Chipotle to eat lunch. We're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Ephesians chapter 1.
That's good.
And then next week we'll talk about Ephesians chapter 2. But I love that. It's like food, community, and we're talking about Jesus. And it's like, this is always going to happen after practice.
Yeah, that's good.
And I thought that was the best way to do it. I saw them do it over the summer and it was rad.
Yeah. So. Or even if you make that, like, say you do make your bucket list shared with a friend, like, what if in that sense your accountability is like written down on that list is like spend time in the Word every day this summer? Like, what would that look like? And actually like check in on each other with that. Or like 3 times a week. Like start somewhere.
Yeah.
And do that with someone, even if you don't meet with them every day or meet with them every week. You guys both read the same book, or like you both like at least just share your thoughts once a week with each other.
Yeah, like you can just be like, hey, like how did you learn? What was really cool that stood out to you this past week? Because this is what I learned. And now you don't have to necessarily meet the entire time, but you can talk about it. I do love that.
You're plugged into a life group here at the Well. That could be a great thing to even just start with your life group.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, in our life group message that most of us don't respond to our leaders in, let's all share one thing each week that we are getting out of God's word together this summer. Preach.
Yeah, please do that. And respond in your group text messages.
Be so
Thank you.
kind to your leader souls.
Yeah, just stop. Just do something. Even a just respond. Okay, thank you. The third thing that I would say probably, and just like kind of like tying into that, is like if there's a spiritual discipline that you're like, hey, I want to try over the summer, you do that. Maybe it's like prayer. Like my prayer life sucks during the school year. Maybe I want to be a little bit more intentional about prayer. So then maybe here's a couple of things. Start a gratitude list and then be like, here's what they're grateful for and here's what I'm praying for. Yeah. Maybe pick 4 or 5 people like in your world that you're going to be praying for, commit to over the summer. Another one, maybe you can try Sabbath. Brynn, you've been doing that.
Yeah, huge fan. 10 on 10 recommend.
Maybe you're like, hey, I've heard about fasting. I want to try that maybe once this summer. What does that look like for me? Maybe it's like memorizing scripture. Maybe it's like, I want to learn more about like a specific thing in God's word. I mean, there's so many things you could try and do. Yeah.
Even like, I think you mentioned the fasting, like that could be even like fasting from social media or from like TV or things like that. Like what would it look like over summer to choose like a few hours of each day that you like don't use your phone or social media, so that you can be present with like the things around you?
Honestly, Brynn, I think that's a great idea, because in the summer there is, for some reason, it's like the Pandora's box for media. It's like, I'm just going to I just have no like discipline at all with social media.
Brings me to my next one. I don't remember what number we're on. I think 4, but what does it look like to rest and not isolate or numb out?
Oh, and that's good.
Over summer, like it is there, like the school, like schools have summer break for a reason, because you guys need rest and you push yourself so hard all year. And so you do need rest this summer. And so my heart for you guys is that doesn't just look like you binge Netflix every day. I remember my summer routine a lot of times when I was in high school would be like, I wake up at like 12. And
I would get up at noon or 1.
I like kind of lay in bed for a while still, maybe watch some TV or go on Instagram or whatever, and then get ready, go hang out with friends really late, and then I get home, and then I would watch TV till like 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's real.
And then like repeat. And I think, sure, like those days are fun.
Did you read my diary? It's literally what I did over the summer.
But you can like do those things. But I think the encouragement here is like, what does it look like to actually find rest for your soul and for your body, and not that just be in a way where you're numbing out on TV or social media and things. And so do you have any advice on that topic?
Yeah, resting for your soul is really important, because that is how even the Lord was like, this is what humanity needs. And even it was in the Old Testament saying that this is the 10 commandments, which we need to keep the Sabbath, keep it holy. Rest is important. We believe it. Me and Brynn talk about it all the time. But in the summer, it is great for you to practice that because you have time. So we always have a couple of things we say. When you're resting, do something that's fun. We say do something that is like probably sends you back to the Lord. So like spiritual focused. Then we say something for your body. So move your body, where it's like maybe you're doing pickleball with friends. We always say that, or like maybe you're like doing you're just
come play pickleball with me.
Do the run or play volleyball at like a church that you go to because they have new sand volleyball courts. Or maybe you like take a walk on the Clovis Trail, or like
go hammock.
Go hammock outside.
That's fun.
That is fun. Oh my gosh, I want to do that right now.
I know, me too. That's so nice.
Okay, we're gonna end this podcast.
Yeah, signing off.
Bye. But I would say just do one of those 3 things so that way you can go ahead and just kind of check in with where you're at personally and spend that time with
and not just once this summer, like making that like part of your routine.
Yeah,
like hey, once a week I'm gonna do something that's restful, and that can be in community, but like something that's good for you. And again, we're not saying to never binge out on Netflix or social media ever again for your whole summer, because we also know that's not realistic.
It's not realistic.
But trying to limit that and like prioritize some things that are healthy for you, because that will bleed into the whole rest of your summer too.
Yeah. That's when everyone gets back and they go, wow, what did I do over the summer?
Yes.
And you're like, you weren't intentional and you still feel more exhausted. It's because you were numbing out and you weren't actually restoring your soul over time. That's good. So, which leads us to I don't remember what number we're on.
I think we're on 5 now.
We are on 5. And so the 5th one I'd probably say is, the 5th one I'd probably say is we're going to go ahead and learn something new. Do something that is new.
Beethoven. That's how we got started on this whole thing.
I was like, where is this? Yeah. But learn a new skill. I know that school's out, but it doesn't mean that we can't practice learning something that's like, maybe you've always wanted to learn the guitar.
Well, and that's what's cool is like, yes, we have to learn all year in school, but you're learning what someone else is telling you have to. Yes. And so the unique thing about summer is like, there might be something that really excites you to learn, whether that's like an educational thing or a skill or a practice or whatever, that you feel like you don't have time to during the school year because so many other things control your schedule. Yes. And so this is the opportunity.
Yeah,
like,
learn something new.
Learn something new. You don't have to master it, but like just try it. And so like, not that I think I'm a pro, but that was pickleball for me last summer and it stuck. So how many times can we talk about pickleball in this podcast?
That's hilarious. I think I saw a lot of people on the social media. My friends were like, I'm going to pick up piano for the summer, guitar lessons. I had a friend who's like, I'm going to
paint.
Painting's fun.
I saw someone do pottery.
Yeah, I was gonna say pottery.
Like Good Dirt Pottery, or whatever it's called.
Shout out. We love Good Dirt Pottery. It is such a fun time. And also like maybe it's like you're gonna go ahead and pick up a book that you want to read.
Yeah.
You know, there's just a lot of things that you can do.
Good.
So like for me, it's like maybe I'm gonna learn how to play golf. I suck at it. Maybe I'm gonna learn how to do wood shop cutting. I don't know what that is, but you know what I mean.
That's good.
Something like that. So
I'm going to learn how to budget and save money.
Yes, party people. That is one thing that I remember in the summer, I was like, I need a job. Because it was like, I want to go do all these things.
Okay, we weren't planning on talking about that today, but
maybe.
Summer jobs.
That's a real thing. Trader Joe's is a great place to work.
That is. I think my recommendation with your summer jobs, if you get them, is to try to make it not take over your whole summer.
Yes.
Like,
be honest.
The paycheck is great, but like
it's not your identity.
It's not your identity, and you do need that time to like be a kid, go hang out with your friends, like
go have fun, go slip and slide.
Yeah, do all these things. Oh my gosh, please make a slip and slide this summer with your friends.
Isn't that so fun?
You are not too old or too cool to
exactly.
Make a slip
That's what
and
I'm
slide.
saying. The summer is the time for us to embrace like our inner child and recognize that when we do that, we're relinquishing our control on our lives and recognizing that God is in control. We're putting him back in his place. That is why fun exists.
God created fun.
He did. So have it.
Good.
Yeah. You don't need to, don't spend the summer trying to grow up too fast.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to hang out here all day, but now I want to go make a slip and slide.
Well, I'm going to go hammock. So
I feel like we should wrap this up. And you guys should share this episode with your friend so that you guys can plan your summers together.
And tag us and let us know what your summer bucket list is.
Yes, please share your summer bucket list. Tag at Well Church Students. We want to see them.
We should probably do one too. Yeah,
we should. That's good. All right. Well, that's it.
Like 5 stars. You know the thing. We'll see ya. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Well StudentCast. As always, don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends about us. For more information about the Well Student Ministries, visit thewellcommunity.org/students.